We be live. Hello, everybody. I'm here with Anna and Elliot. Hi.
Hi guys.
Okay,
Hi.
guys. I told everybody before the show. I'm gonna say this for the live chat as well. Let's behave today. Let's be mindful about what we're saying. So to try not to get demonetized. Okay. Today, this show has no reason, absolutely no reason to get demonetized. Okay. We're not gonna be talking about 18 plus stuff. Okay, I'm not even gonna say the word just so that not to trigger the demonetization. Guys, we're not gonna be talking about the T word. We're not gonna be talking about hating J people, anything. Okay, this is about maritime trade and the Houthis and this person's ridiculous support of them, and the Muslim smile to Jannah loving this. So if we get demonetized today, I don't know what to do anymore. Okay, so we're just trying to test YouTube's algorithm and see what makes it angry. Let me actually double check if we have already been demonetized or not.
We
Okay,
are
no,
in an abusive
we're good.
relationship with YouTube at this point. This is
Yeah.
absolutely textbook example. I just pointing that out. So.
Right. Oh, by the way, I see a lot of people in the live chat. Thank you guys for being here. Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi there. Okay, cool. Soha is here. Okay, good. Audio is great. Thank
Hello,
you so
chat
much, Soha.
and Anna. Like we're all just an afterthought, really. They really just wanted to say hey to you, Anna. It's okay. It's fine.
Right. Okay, so we're doing a video from the channel Smile to Jannah, which is this guy, right? And again, we have been talking about the Houthis, and there seems to be a leftist Islamic alliance for some reason having the worst of takes, on supporting the worst of institutions and the worst of organizations, doing the most horrible things, the most destructive stuff, and for some reason, there are agreements between some leftist groups in the West and some Muslims on how amazing these people are. A lot of times has been over Hamas, and I'm saying it the Hebrew way, just so that I don't trigger YouTube's algorithm. But now it's the Houthis. They seem, again, the consistency is amazing, because with Hamas, I could see that there's a history there. There is a propaganda there. There is a long-term, brainwashing of many Westerners about the fact, the idea that these are freedom fighters, that they're fighting against oppression. Israel is this imperialist colonial power that is doing settler colonialism in this area, and Hamas is just resisting that. And many Western leftists like that narrative. They have that same history when it comes to how United States started, or Australia started, or Canada started, so they could relate into that narrative, like, yes, we are against that over here, so let's also be against that over there. So even though we don't agree with them, we could see why somebody would fall for that narrative. But then all of a sudden, the Houthis, which these people had no idea who these people are, where did they come from, and they just are Islamists. They don't have all those years of propaganda supporting them, and they are, the T word. Again, I'm not saying the T word because I want to see if I could get away with not getting demonetized today, right? They are the terror something. Okay, I'm not gonna say it, and they have the worst of views, the most anti-Semitic, I hope I can say that, views, the most destructive ideology, the most harmful views, and they are extremely, extremely radical. And they showed up out of nowhere for these Westerners. Like, they had no idea who these people are until yesterday, and all of a sudden they're supporting them. I'm like, why? But why? Why? Do you guys have any idea? I think there is something. I think you know what I'm gonna suggest, why they're supporting them. But why do you think they're supporting it?
I'm sure what your thoughts are, Armin, are around the fact that all of these, talking heads that are coming out and supporting this really terrible, horrible group. It's because they have really been paying attention to the horrible things that have been occurring in like Yemen over the last years. And they've really done a deep dive, and they're making a very educated stance here. I'm confident that we will find years worth of these people discussing the various problems in Yemen. So I'm sure that the reason is because they're deeply educated and making very rational conclusions. Is that, am I close or, you know?
No, very far off, very far off, very far off. I'm sorry. Yes.
Just opportunistic jerks who want to side with a group because it's anti-Semitic. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible it's possible that.
You got it. Yeah, pretty nailed it. Anna, do you have the same view?
Well, I think that the Houthis themselves, although they do see themselves maybe as freedom fighters, but they are trying also to get rid of Western values and Western influence in the region. And what the West doesn't understand, the Westerners who support them, is that it's not a liberational movement, and they are like extreme in their ideology. I'm trying to be very selective about my words here. And the reason they support them is just because it fits into the narrative of the oppressor and oppressed. And the Houthis, they live in a very poor country, and they are fighting the rich and powerful West.
Exactly. Actually, I should have their flag ready at some point. Again, I'm not going to read it. I'm just going to maybe show it on screen. We're being very, very careful today. By the way, if we get demonetized, if we get demonetized today, then I'm going to give up completely. Like I'm done, you know. So because we've been very good so far, we've been very good boys and girls today. Okay, but let me actually play some of this video before we get into the flag. So let's see what. Let's look at the ad at the beginning of his video. Okay, so this is very interesting. Before we get into the meat of it,
an entire village accepting Islam, inspiring, isn't it? Now, being part of that is possible. By donating to this IERA project, it will help many people accept Islam in Africa and equip them to practice it. Link in the description.
Oh my God.
So let's talk about that ad at the beginning, okay? Imagine going to Africa, right? And donating money for countries in need in Africa because this is what they're missing. You know, Africa has solved, you know, all the countries in Africa have solved all their problems, okay? You know, poverty, radicalism, conflict, stability, education, healthcare, disease. You have extra money, and from all the problems you have in Africa, you could spend that money to, I don't know, fix education in Africa, fix healthcare in Africa, fix a whole bunch of like business, entrepreneurship. There's a malaria, maybe like buying some nets for people in Africa. But what is the most effective thing you could do? The most productive, you know, the most bang for your buck you could get for spending money in Africa is obviously to invite people to Islam.
Yeah, give them a Quran. I mean, are you joking? Like,
imagine that. Imagine looking at Africa and thinking, like, I'm going to spend my money on Africa. Amazing. What are you going to do in Africa? I'm going to get more people to convert to Islam. It's fantastic.
I just want to point out that it doesn't, you know, a lot of times here, you know, the US, you know, Christians, they're often the ones that are blamed for being, you know, a bit reductive and a bit stereotypical and not really caring about other cultures and just trying to force their religion down people's throats. I just want to point out how in that ad, you can see that it doesn't just reside with the white Christians here in America. No. People of all backgrounds and all terrible ideologies love to just force their crap down people's throat and not really care about them, you know? Like, first, you know, Africa's a really big place. It's like 53 individual countries. So imagine going to Africa. Imagine going to Asia. Like, oh, which country in Asia? Like, it just, anyway.
Wait, you're telling me Africa is not just one country?
Okay, Armin, this is going to blow your mind. This is going to blow your mind. Not only is it not one country, it's also all not just like disparate villages in the middle of barren wasteland. Like, surprisingly, they're thriving, incredibly successful communities. Absolutely, with lots of technological. It's almost like they're real people, as opposed to just pawns that we can force Islam onto. Yeah, weird how that works. Anyway,
go ahead.
You know, it's also like donating for a cause, right? To spread Islam. But they don't tell here in the advertisement where and how they are going to do this, which is extremely weird when you are trying to advertise a campaign for donations. Like, people need to know what they are donating for. Africa is very wide. You can talk about Algeria in Africa. You can talk about Nigeria in Africa. Yeah. It's two different situations completely.
So we got a new member, but Leo became a YouTube member. Thank you so much. And we got a super chat from Addy saying, "Words jar donation."
Not just so much, a super chat, Armin. But Zionist shekels. That's right.
Oh yes, shekels.
That's right, you guys.
We love.
That's how we know we're doing good.
Yes, and Space is saying Africa needs less religion, if anything.
Man, right?
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, especially a huge part of many countries in Africa who are suffering from poverty right now is religion, and especially Islam. Like the lack of stability right now in many African countries is specifically because of Islam. Islam is destabilizing many African countries, and this person, this idiot, wants more of that in Africa. Anyways, we should move forward with this video because we haven't even started this. So let's continue.
Assalamualaikum guys, and welcome to another episode of Smile to Jannah. It feels like forever, and what a video to resume our scheduled uploads with than Dr. Francois, an academic who was brought onto Sky News to discuss the Israel-Gaza, well, let's call it what it is. It's a genocide, yeah? And boy, what you're about to see is school in session.
Hundreds of billions of dollars has been put at risk because the Houthis have held this area in the Red Sea at ransom.
What?
Sorry, so just let me get this straight, Yalda. So we are bombing one of the poorest countries in the world that has been under a humanitarian blockade.
Shame on you.
And we are bombing them because a couple of guys in dinghies in support for the Palestinians who are having a genocide committed against them, they're objecting to that, and we're bombing them. Come on now.
Sky journalist.
Wow.
So what do you guys think?
How ignorant.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to try to be kind. Folks. And I'm trying not to get demonetized.
You don't have to be.
I'm not going to say the cuss words, but it is incredible to me how more and more it feels as if people are extremely comfortable with just outright letting everybody know, I don't understand what I'm talking about right now. I'm not educated enough to have an opinion on this, but I'm going to confidently get my opinion out there. She referred to these militants as a couple of guys in dinghies. Tell that to the folks that were held hostage. Tell that to the folks that have died. Tell that to their families that, hey, it's cool daddy's not coming home because they're just a bunch of dudes in dinghies. Jesus Christ, that's how we start from this person. That was just, it's so ignorant of the situation. And to say we're bombing, one of the poorest nations in the world where all these terrible things have happened and all this stuff. again, I just want to point back to my sarcasm at the beginning. Like, has this person said jack about that? Have they said anything about the actual genocide occurring in Yemen? That was just a really bad start. I'm going to be honest. That was a really bad start, I thought. All right. I'm done.
Yeah. Go on, Anna.
I also think that she's completely misrepresenting the situation, because who started taking control over vessels in the sea, in the region? Who started this? Like, it wasn't that we are against the Houthis just because they are black or something. No, we are against them because they do certain actions, and their actions are very extreme and endanger the trade around the entire world. And they don't kidnap only ships with Israeli crew, no, or with Israeli people, or usually with ships. Like, a lot of times maybe the owner is Israeli but the crew is Japanese, and the cargo is maybe American, and like it goes on and on. It's not like a one country thing. And this actually endangers the lives of so many people. And even before this war, the Houthis weren't exactly the best neighbors to Saudi Arabia. Like, they attacked Saudi Arabia several times. They are known for being very extreme with their ideology and basically attacking whoever is not Houthi.
Yeah. First of all, let's just assume that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza. Let's just assume that.
Sure.
Let's just assume that it's not just a genocide; it's the worst genocide.
Okay.
And let's also assume that Israel is pure evil. There's nothing good about Israel, and Palestinians are being oppressed, and Israel is committing genocide. I still don't understand what this point is. Okay, this is nothing. This is not helping. This is not going to. Has nothing to. They're not even attacking Israeli ships.
Right.
They're not even blocking Israeli trade. Most Israeli trade is on the other sea. Okay, this is not the sea. Like, most of Israel's trade is with Europe through the Mediterranean Sea. You're blocking the wrong ships. Okay, you're blocking international trade. You're punishing You're punishing other countries. You're causing more poverty in the world. Even if Israel was committing a genocide in Gaza, more people. Here's the thing. Here's the problem with a lot of people evaluating the amount of harm in the world. We see the harm and death and misery from war, which we should see, but we're so blind to the harm and misery from poverty, which is by far so much more and so much worse. The number of people who die from poverty and the number of people who are miserable because of poverty is far more than the people who die or suffer from war. And this is adding to that poverty. I would say the number of people that are now victims of this is in the millions, because of stopping international trade, increasing prices, causing inflation, and it's not just the prices that will go up. People's incomes are being reduced. When you block trade, you're reducing people's income around the world. I don't think people understand the significance of having the flow of international trade just continue with safety and security. How much people's lives depend on that. And then also, it talks about these Houthis as if they're just a bunch of people in the dinghies, in their dinghies, but they're not. They actually, thanks to the Islamic Republic of Iran, they are very, very sophisticated.
Yeah.
They have really advanced weaponry. In just a couple of years, they went from being just a bunch of people with dinghies, honestly, to now being a major headache for not the United States and Israel, for every country. Okay, even Russia and China are in agreement with the United States that this is horrible. Like, you can't get these countries to agree on much, and they agree on this.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about Africa. Oh, here's an interesting thing. We were talking about, and I have a whole bunch of points. We were talking about, at the beginning of the show, we were talking about Africa and helping Africa. Guess which countries are going to be suffering the most from the blockade of international trade? You're sending Africa Islam, which they don't need, and you're supporting the Houthis, who are now going to be increasing food prices in Africa. In Africa.
Huh.
The level of advancement in weaponry for Houthis has got to a point where they now effectively do tactics where it's difficult for even modern armies to be able to determine which missiles they're shooting out is right, the correct ones, and which ones are fake. They have now advanced fake weaponry for when you go to go bombard them. They're taking out missiles that are not even real missiles. Like, they are undetectable even to advanced armies these days. That's how the level of advancements that they managed to get. They are so advanced right now because of Iranian funding that Saudi Arabia, after bombing them for so many years, which we do not support, because they were not just bombing the Houthis, they were bombing civilians when the Saudis were bombing Yemen, right? Unlike United States, United States, when they're bombing in Yemen, they're doing it very targeted. They're going for the military sites. When Saudi Arabia was doing that, they were just on purpose bombing civilians, going for maximum civilian casualties, right? But after years of bombardment by Saudi Arabia, they're still there. And now they're even more advanced than ever. So why are you trying to reduce them to just a bunch of peoples in dinghies? No, they're not. They're extremely advanced. They got a lot of money from the Islamic Republic of Iran, and they use it, and a lot of advanced weaponry, modern weaponry. And also, you're talking about them, Yemen. You're like, oh, why are you bombing one of the poorest countries in the world? Okay, they're not bombing. This is not a type of bombing that is making Yemen poorer. Saudi Arabia bombing, they're not bombing the ports. They're not bombing the infrastructure. They're bombing the military. They're bombing the Houthis. So, and the reason why one of the main reasons why Yemen is getting poorer and poorer is because of the Houthis. If you're concerned about the poverty in Yemen, you should be thanking the United States. If anybody can help get rid of the Houthis from Yemen, you are going to be able to help Yemen maybe one day get out of poverty. What is this like? Oh, why are you bombing one of the poorest countries in the world? Well, they're bombing the institution, the organization, the people who are responsible for a lot of that poverty. You moron. Like, you don't understand any of this. Any of this. And this person is a doctor. This lady is a doctor. I don't know what she has a doctorate in. But let's go Anna first, and then Elliot.
I have several points, but also, like, the Arab countries, even those who support the Palestinians and Gaza, they are one of the biggest losers in this. I mean, Saudi Arabia is definitely a loser, but also Egypt, because a lot of ships now, they try to avoid going to the Suez Canal, which is very important for the Egyptian economy. So she's also like, this problem is a worldwide problem, and she's not supporting the Muslims or Arabs or even like Palestinians with what she's saying, because it is harming everyone, including the supporters of the Palestinians. And another thing is that, you know, North Korea, the people there, most of the people are starving, but they have nuclear weapons. So this is not correlating. The poverty of the people and the weaponry is often not correlated, because you know what? If you invest a lot in the weapons, you will get a lot of weapons. If you don't invest in infrastructure and making jobs opportunities and education, you won't have these, but you will have a lot of weapons.
Yep, very good point. Thousands of miles of tunnels, not a single bomb shelter. Weird. I was just thinking, because you made this point, Armin, and you made this connection, and it just kind of struck me. And I wonder if anybody else sees this. Statistically speaking, we know that individuals who are less financially stable are more likely to be religious, and not just minorly religious, but like more, into the religion. See, individuals and groups like the Houthis want financial instability for people, maybe because they think that'll help spread their religion. I wonder if anybody else sees that. But yeah, they want to throw the world into chaos, because then after all of the beautiful progress that liberalism has brought for you, after all that's wiped away, the only thing left you can cling on to is a fairy tale about some afterlife and some garbage. Like, don't worry, you'll eat great food in heaven later. Yeah, it works hand in hand.
Right.
It
All right,
also
let's
serves
listen
them
to
because
this.
they can blame Israel and the United States for everything. Like, they don't need to be held accountable. They can just say that the United States and its influence is what causing them all the problems they have.
If only the U.S. and Israel would just let us, take ships and kill people, then the world would be better.
Yeah, let's continue.
They're objecting to that, and we're bombing them. Come on now.
Okay, so it's they're not objecting. So the Houthis are now being considered heroes because Houthis are objecting to genocide.
They're objecting.
They're objecting to genocide. But
Genocide committed against.
Like it's amazing.
In support for the Palestinians who are having a genocide committed against them. They're objecting to that, and we're bombing them. Come on now.
Yeah, this is why we're bombing them. Okay, we decided, how dare you, Houthis? How dare you stand up against genocide? That's not allowed. We don't like that in the world liberal order. We don't. We like our we just like a little bit, maybe not too much genocide, but we like to have just a little bit of a topping of genocide on our world liberal order, just a little bit.
Like, and
you're objecting. Yeah, we are objecting to that. So you guys are just, not letting us do our genocide. And that's why you're getting bombed. It's not because the entire world system that we have, the liberal system that we have, is all built upon the base of trade and international trade. Everything that we have built from all the institutions and all the methodologies that we have and all the foundations of human rights, liberal order, of democracy, of all every single agreement that we have signed is all based on protecting international trade. And if you come for that, you are going to be met with the wrath of this entire system. I mean, you should be. If there's any criticism, is why are we not responding stronger to this? Okay, so no, it has nothing to do with that. It's not that you're targeting the base and the foundation of everything that the world has come to ever since World War II to build. You're not. It's not because of that. It's because you're standing up for genocide. And it's amazing that how anti-genocidal you are, because I wouldn't have guessed that based on your flag. I'm surprised to learn that you guys have so much. So, you have such a big issue with genocide. I mean, maybe I'm misrepresenting what your flag represents. I mean, I'm trying not to get demonetized, but that flag again, go on.
Does any one of those maybe have some reference to genocide by any chance? Is it it's on screen there, it's the red
so
one.
This is a flag. It says, the first one says Allahu Akbar, which means God is great. The second line says, again, I'm not even going to read the Arabic because I don't know if YouTube will be able to say what I'm saying. Something unaliving America, unaliving Israel. That's the second, third line saying.
That sounds a bit
genocidal.
I mean, kind of, doesn't it?
maybe, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're an anti-genocidal force, Elliot. I don't know what you're talking about. And the third line, which gets me every time, I will never get over this, that we have, a government somewhere in the world that has this line
Literally
on their
on
freaking flag. It's on their freaking
freedom fighters,
flag,
Armin.
right?
Freedom
Right,
fighters.
freedom fighters. So this one says, "Curse upon the how do I say this? Juice. Curse upon the juice, the juices of the world." Okay, and victory to Islam. I
No
mean, these two
apple.
actually go. These two last line, you're just repeating yourself. These
Yeah,
two last
and-
lines, I don't know why you're saying the same thing twice.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, it's basically means the same thing. Yeah.
And
But go on.
this flag was adopted like in the early 2000s, way before the actions of Israel in Gaza. Like, it didn't even start yet.
But
20
Anna,
years ago.
But Anna, I was told by all these really educated elites in the West that the Houthis are only acting like this because of the recent disgusting actions by the Israeli government. Wait a second. Are you saying they've always been hateful and anti-Semitic? Oh my guys, this is rough. I wish they would I wish, sometimes terrible groups like this would just, like, I don't know, emblazon it on a really poorly designed flag and fly that flag for decades. Oh.
Wait, what do you have against this design, Elliot? What do you have against this beautiful
it's horrible. It's child. It is literally a child in paint. Like, this is bad.
I want people into live chat. Tell me which one is is a bigger violation of human rights, okay? Hold on, okay? This line in the flag that says "curse be upon," the J people, is that worse, or is the design? It is the design of the sign. Which one offends you more? Which one is more offensive, the design or this line in the flag?
I really think the fact that it's a toss-up for people is going to be telling. That's all. Like,
I really don't understand who got the idea that hairy letters for the red lines is good.
Is it supposed to be like intimidating? Is it supposed to be like I get the red and the green, I get that. Thank you, Seed of Iblis is correct. It's 50-50, and like that's bad.
But most other people are saying it's the design. It's
who's there? I really like who's there. I'm Jewish, and the design is more offensive. I'll take the curse, but for God's sakes, have some.
All right.
Come on now.
Sky journalists being handed their dignity in a silk white cloth.
I mean, this is just...
Why they're not? Here's the thing. The title of Smile to Jannah's video was something about Sky News journalists being embarrassed. This doctor embarrassing them. But if you go actually look at the full interview, they're not even disagreeing with her. All right, they're not even pushing against her. They're just asking her questions. Like, I don't know how they were schooled and embarrassed. They were like, "Okay, what's your opinion?" And like, "This is my opinion." And I'm like, "Okay, thanks for your opinion." That's it. Like, how are they destroyed? Like, what the hell? I mean, they just have to make it seem like people who are defending, I don't know, these radical groups, they're just like warriors that are speaking truth to power, and the world can't handle it, and they're just like so brave to come and everybody's being censored, and she's so brave. They're like, "Okay, here's her opinion." Like, she's not being censored. You're not, supporting these radical groups. Nobody's censoring you. In fact, you are more likely to get a platform by saying these ridiculous things. Yeah, go on, Anna.
And I'm actually very, very concerned that this is the state of the academia in is it Australia where she's from? I'm extremely concerned with that, because I mean, clearly, like, if her doctorate is in Middle Eastern studies, then I will be like, I will think that this field is gone. Okay, the field I'm studying is gone. Probably.
I
It's
don't
so
even know what
ridiculous.
she is a journalist. I don't even know what she got a doctorate in. Like,
I'm hoping it's
she calls herself.
communication or media or something. Because if it's international relations or Middle Eastern studies, I agree with Hannah. That doesn't bode well for the institution, I would think. So,
like, I understand like the lay people saying that the Houthis are maybe doing something good because they never heard about the Houthis before. Okay, like, I understand someone who is not informed talking about that, but someone who studies this in the university, this would be like a complete loss of faith in humanity for me.
Okay, so I just checked. She got her PhD in Oxford University here.
Okay. What field?
So this is her. Okay, education. She got her PhD in Oxford University, focusing on Islamic movements in Morocco in 2017. That is
wow.
Specific.
I'm confused. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm confused.
Yeah.
Somebody like that seems to me like they would be able to just, like, I mean, I feel like she should have some knowledge on the Houthis, right? They're an Islamic movement.
Islamic movements in Morocco is like Middle Eastern studies. I'm speechless.
Well, I mean, it's North Africa.
How can you do it?
It's North Africa.
About Islamic, like, how can you do a PhD about Islamic studies, yet not go to see what is the Islamic ideology of the Houthis? Like, it's,
well, I mean, because it's not, it's a different place. I mean,
no,
I actually completely. Wait. All right, let me finish my point. I actually kind of see why Morocco's Islamic movements are pretty mild relative to what you say. I think I completely see, if you focus on Morocco's Islamic movements. Oh no, okay. In 2017, I thought like she was focusing on modern movements. No, she finished her PhD in 2017. Okay, but Islamic movements in Morocco's Islamic movements are, I mean, throughout history, actually, not just in modern history. If now that I think about it, Morocco, like that part of the world, Islamic movements were focusing on philosophy and science, and now Morocco is one of the most secular Islamic countries in the world. So if you're focusing on Morocco's Islamic movement, I could see that why you would have a biased view on how amazing Islamic movements could be. So yeah, I completely see that. But let's move on with the rest of the video. I really don't want to spend time.
Briefly.
Yeah.
Here she's invited to speak. She's invited to speak about the Houthis. She knows what the interview is going to be on. And she didn't see this flag. I mean, I saw it in the first year of my university. I knew about the Houthis from my university.
No,
in the first year. Like, you learn about these kind of things.
Okay, I'm pretty sure she knows about the flags, and I know these people have when you press on them about who you are supporting, they're like, yes, we know they're horrible, but they're horrible people or whatever. We don't condone that. We condone this specific action, like this specific action. They say they support, which is stupid. It's kind of like saying like, yes, I know Adolf H was a horrible person that committed genocide and stuff. But we have to admit, he was amazing for Germany's economy up to a certain point. It's basically that's the line of reasoning I think they have here. But anyways, I need to move on. Anna. Let's just move on. Oh my God.
Really quick, I swear. Which is, you pointed out the philosophical stuff in the Islamic movements throughout history in Morocco, and I just want to direct everybody to all the great philosophical thinkers we have coming from the Houthis and Hamas. So if you could just think about all of that great philosophical literature.
Right. So let's continue.
Insane world for us to even think. I'm so sorry your Amazon packages are delayed. I really am. Like, I wish mine came on time. But, genocide, guys, genocide.
Yeah.
So this is why when you don't understand what you're talking about, you come live on TV and you just embarrass yourself. Okay. She thinks that when we complain about blocking international trade and the importance of, the maritime trade, which the economy of the entire freaking globe is built upon, we're complaining about, Amazon packages showing up 2 or 3 days late. Yeah. That's what we're concerned about. Look at the caricature that she has about us, okay? She thinks that we're the kind of people that there's a genocide happening in Gaza. That's what she thinks. And we're like, oh, yes, keep doing that, but make sure our Amazon packages come on time. This is why a lot of these people, a lot of these leftists think that they're such warriors for human rights, because this is what they picture their enemy to be like, their ideological enemy to be like. We must be, in their mind, such pure evil that we are excusing genocide, but we're concerned about Amazon packages showing up on time. They don't even understand our position, and they criticize it. It's not about Westerners who are living comfortable, luxurious lives getting their Amazon packages on time. You freaking moron. You idiot. Everybody suffers. This is not about you. This is not about you getting your Amazon package on time. This is about everybody, especially people in poverty. Their income and their cost of living depends on the free and secure flow of international trade. You freaking moron. Even if we wanted to focus on that package that you ordered on Amazon, do you understand that you are not the only person affected from ordering that package? Do you understand that that package arriving late to you does not just affect you? It affects the person that is producing it. It affects all the institution and all the employees that go around in providing all the systems that gets that to you. It affects the income of the producers. Do you know, like you ordered a printer, for example, on Amazon. That arriving late to you is affecting the worker in the factory in a third world country that was involved in producing it. It affects that person that is working on the ship that package goes to. It affects the employee on that firm that is doing all the paperwork and the legal work that makes that package arrive at you. It's not just about you. This is not just about you. There are thousands of people that work hand in hand together to get that package to you. And all of their income is getting cut because of this. Every single one of them. And guess what? Maybe you don't care about the fact. So it's not just about the food. By the way, here's an interesting thing. The food and the cost of living and the cost of healthcare and the cost of medicine and the cost of water and the cost of electricity in all the countries in the world, including the poorest countries in the world, are going to increase because of this. Mm-hmm. And your cost is also going to increase. And maybe you don't care about that. Like maybe you don't even notice that. Maybe your package that you just ordered, you're paying $2. It was $300 before. It's now $302. And you don't care about that. $2, it means nothing to you. But guess what? That $2 that you're spending extra, you don't feel it. But you are now spending that. You're now spending less because your printer just went up in price. Your perfume just went up in price. Your shoe went up in price. You now have less disposable income. And maybe you don't feel it, but that money that you're not spending somewhere else, the person that you were paying, they're going to feel it. They're going to feel it. All of this, the less disposable income that all of us are now going to be spending less, even in our savings. All the people that are working, if you save less, it's going to be less investment in the economy. If you spend less, that's going to be less spending in the economy. You don't notice it, but other people will. People that are living in poverty, and even people who are living on the edge of poverty, they're all of them, not just in poor countries, even in the United States. You spending and saving less because you're spending more on your printer. People in the United States are going to be able to afford less money for their real estate. They're going to be spending less time with their children because now they have to work more often. You don't understand these things. They're like, oh, you guys are like supporting a genocide because you don't want your Amazon package to come less. This is talking from some. If it's okay if you don't understand the economy, how the economy works, but don't act like you understand it when you don't. Just be like, hey, I'm unaware of the costs associated with this. So you don't have to be educated about everything, but when you're not, take a freaking goddamn back seat instead of embarrassing yourself. Go on, Elliot.
So phenomenal points, Armin. Absolutely spot on. And I just really wanted to highlight one of our viewers right now, because after everything you said, this is what the person got from this. They said, oh no, the cost. People are dying. Okay. And they say, oh no, luxury items cost a little more. Armin, I have a question. Does medicine travel around the world on ships through the Red Sea?
No, they grow on trees. Everybody has a tree in their backyard, and it's just their medicine grows.
Okay, now hang on. Now hang on a second. Now, okay. Now
it rains from the air. Yeah.
Now our wonderful interlocutor here says you have other sources of printers and medicine.
Oh my God.
I wonder if this person is talking about
so stupid.
I wonder if this person is talking about liberals in educated from highly elite schools and in really well-off neighborhoods. I wonder if that's who they're talking about, or if they're talking about, say, I don't know, people impoverished in Yemen because of a genocidal organization actively participating in killing them. This is the ignorance that Armin is talking about. This is the outright evil that Armin is talking about, is that somebody just flippantly says, oh, you just have other sources for printers and medicine. Like, no, they don't. A lot of people around the world, this is the only way that they have access to goods that are literally life-saving. And you're just flippantly saying, no, support this terrible organization. Your package will arrive tomorrow. It's gross.
So here's what people don't understand. I keep telling them, I keep telling them that this is not just about your printer. Like, they don't listen. They don't understand anything about the economy. Okay. Poverty kills more than war. Right? When you mess with the world trade and the flow of goods, you are increasing poverty. You are causing more death and misery than any war ever could. This is what communists and a lot of leftists don't understand, how important. They're like, oh, you just care about capitalism because you care about money and you think money is more important than people's lives. No, you freaking moron. We care about the economy because we care about people's lives. It's not because we care about the economy because money means more to us than people's lives. The economy, the prosperity is what leads people to live better lives, higher quality lives, and it reduces death. Death from starvation, death from lack of nutrition, and death from having less access to healthcare, death from stress. People have no time to exercise, eat better, spend time with their loved ones. Do you know spending more time, having extra time to spend with your loved ones actually has a huge impact on your health? Do you know being able to actually have enough time to think about what I'm eating has a huge impact on the quality of your life and lack of death? Do you know people having to get a third job over the 2 jobs that they have It's going to make them die earlier. It's going to make children not see their parents. It's going to make children not be with their parents, and therefore having less quality of an upbringing, and also them having a higher potential of living a life of poverty because they didn't have their mom and their dad more often at their home. Do you know all of this together leads to astronomically higher amount of misery for the world than war? And even war itself causes more misery because of the poverty that causes. Again, because we just follow the news and we are interested in, war news, and we look at the cost of war based on the explosions and based on the number of people that died in the war. Like, we don't, even when it comes to war coverage, we don't understand that war was more harmful because of the impact it has on the economy. I'm not trying to dismiss the amount of suffering war causes, immediate suffering that it causes, the people that are dying in that war. But imagine how much worse poverty is than that the after effect of the war, the effect that it has on the economy, is more than the war itself. That's how destructive poverty is. That's how harmful, that's how important the economy is. And then you guys don't understand that. This is why you're commies. This is why you have the picture of Stalin in your profile picture, because you don't understand how the economy works. Go on, Anna.
It's very important. What I don't understand is how taking possession of cargo ships unrelated to Israel, or even related to Israel, okay, let's say the Houthis are taking all the related to Israel ships. How is it helping the Gazians? Is it causing the Gazians to die less, to the Palestinians to die less? Is it causing Israel to stop attacking in Gaza? No, it is not. Because Israel doesn't rely only on the trade from Bab el-Mandeb. And this issue is going to affect the entire world, the prices in the entire world, and also oil, I think, travels there, and huge economies of Arab countries are dependent on this oil and dependent on these routes in the sea. And this is not going to help the Palestinians in any way. Israel is not fighting the Houthis right now. Who is fighting them are like the US, Saudi Arabia. Israel is not fighting the Houthis currently, and it's not doing bad to the Israeli economy. It's doing bad things to the entire world's economy.
Yeah.
All right, Elliot, really quick. And
really quick, just because I'm just continuing to see these things in the chat, and our wonderful, well-educated interlocutor here cries that we don't care because 25,000 Palestinians have been killed in this horrible atrocity that Israel is doing, and mocks us for caring about poverty. Want to let you know that the most recent UN statistics say 25,000 die a day. 25,000 people in this world die every single day because of a lack of food and medicine. And you laugh at that. You laugh at that, and you tell us that we don't care. 10,000 children every 24 hours. And yet, you say you're the ones that care about the Gazans. You care about Palestinians. Bullshit. I'm tired of this. It is so evil. It is so evil to laugh at that and to say, oh, you just care about making sure packages get to where they're going. I do care about those packages because they keep people alive, unlike your garbage. Done.
Exactly.
Done.
Fantastic. All right, guys, we need to just move through the rest of this. But that was fantastic. I'm glad that we did that.
Ceasefire now and end the positive branding. If you want to stop the Houthis doing what they're doing, then call a ceasefire.
Do you genuinely believe
right
that
now.
the Houthis would stop doing what they're doing?
They have literally said that that's why they're doing what they're doing. They have not
Oh, they have said that. Oh, they have literally said that. Oh my God, amazing. I'm sure they added those things on their flag quite recently, and they're going to remove it right after. Oh, okay. Look how freaking naive these idiots are. Holy crap!
previously blocked those routes for any other reason except this one. So yes, I do.
The desperation of these guys.
Oh my god! I can't. Let's just move
Of
forward.
these guys and the transparency of their hypocrisy is reaching comic levels. You know what I mean? They are trying to blame anyone and anything other than Israel. Do you think people will not realize that we can see who is pulling the strings? So what I really liked about this was how satirically and how comically she was able to just reveal their absurdity. You are taking a
absurdity?
completely
Whose
secondary and
hypocrisy?
peripheral issue.
Yeah, wait. Let's just go through this, okay? Let's just go through this because we're like
Secondary and peripheral issue and ignoring the root and the primary nature of the argument, which is Israel committing a genocide. The Sky journalists here just feel to me like they are chimps in suits. That's all it is. They are absolutely incapable of giving us the one thing that we require during this time, which is objective news. Of course, we don't really expect much from them, especially you guys that are familiar with other wars like the Iraq War, the Afghanistan War. These guys have, and they tend to be puppets for the dominant power. And with regards to the shorts that I covered just today, if we look at even Elon Musk, who was the bastion, he was regarded as the king of free speech. But in the last week, the guy, in the last month, he's gone to Auschwitz, he's gone to Israel, he's been seen with Ben Shapiro, he's been seen with Netanyahu. He said that he is pretty much Jewish.
I'm aspirationally Jewish.
Just to get his advertising back. This is somebody who said he can't be bought, mate. He don't care as long as it's free speech. So these people that go on about, yeah, let's see what's going on in these Muslim countries, mate. You're brown, mate. What are you doing that for? It's ridiculous. And they continue asking dumb questions. Yeah, like, what do you think the solution could be? How about, and I'm putting it out there, stop killing thousands of civilians? Whoa. That was a bit left field, bit controversial, some may say. And boy, that quote that somebody said, I think it's been attributed to Malcolm X, that news and media tries to convince us that night is day, day is night, criminal is the hero, and the hero is indeed the criminal. And we're seeing this, especially now. Yeah, when we're young, we're told to watch the news. You learn something from there. And like Denzel Washington says,
if you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
I think Mr. Denzel hit the nail on the head. And kudos to Dr. Francois. And hopefully that will pave the way for more people to expose these mugs. I don't think they really expected it from her at that level, because that, frankly, was a complete roast. Yeah, those guys are now ready to be slung on a plate, fork and knife, bit of chips on the side, chili sauce, and
this guy is stupid.
Bismillah. Let's leave it there, guys. Until next time.
Dumb.
Assalamu alaikum.
This was one video, you guys. This was a single video. This was one video. And he showed 30 seconds of this woman talking. He spent 2 whole minutes talking about how hypocritical the Sky News journalist. The Sky News journalist said 5 words. The journalist said, "Do you think they'll stop?" What the hell is wrong with him, Armin? He is honestly that stupid. He just randomly in the middle of nowhere was just like, let's go talk about brown people. Let's talk about the Muslim country. I'm like, what? Where is the connection there? Like, I'm genuinely confused about what he was trying to point out in that video, because Jesus Christ, he's stupid. I'm trying not to cuss. He's very stupid. Okay, I'm gonna stop for a second.
You know, and he took basically such a stupid take by this woman, and he calls this a roast. I think like the hosts in the news show, they weren't interrupting her because they were just shocked from the stupidity at this point. Like this was hard to watch. And also he says that news aren't objective, but here they let her speak, say her extremely outrageous words, okay, like totally stupid points, but they let her speak. They show us the other side of the coin, even if that other side is like completely deformed.
So, by the way, guys, before I'm going to make a point, but I want everybody to like the stream right now before you leave. Okay, so we have been successful, guys. We haven't been demonetized today, which is amazing. Okay, so we did it. We did it. Okay, so but make sure you like the stream so that more people will end up seeing the stream. And we got 6 shekels saying projection. Yeah, exactly, by Maya. Thank you so much for the shekels. All right, so here's the thing. Again, I want to go back to imagining that, yes, Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza. Like, just assume that it's true. Again, we don't agree with that. We think Israel is defending itself. And even if there are some parts of the defending itself that we could criticize, overall, we agree that Israel should have responded in Gaza. And that was the right move to make. Okay, so that's what we think. But let's just go into this parallel universe where Israel is actually committing genocide, and it's trying to cause maximum civilian damage. They're just doing that. And by the way, that will make them kind of the suckiest army in the world, because I don't know how they all manage. Anyways, they're not doing a very good job if they're trying to maximize civilian casualties. But let's just trying to. They're really a really bad job. But this. Assume that they're trying to maximize civilian casualties. Their goal is to do a genocide in Gaza, right? The Houthis going and attacking other people's ships to stopping the genocide in Gaza is almost as if I see my neighbor beating their child, for example, and I'm gonna stop that. I'm gonna stop that. And what are you gonna do? How are you going to stop that? I'm going to go find another neighbor and beat their child. Beat up their child, right? And you're like, what, Armin? What? Oh my God, I have to be careful. YouTube, I'm not going to beat any children. I think I'm going to lose the monetization.
We're going to lose the monetization now. Thanks, Armin.
Yes, let's just go with this, okay? And people are like, Armin, why are you doing this? This is horrible. Stop it. I'm like, why are you asking me to stop? I am beating this child because they are beating that child. Don't ask me to stop beating this child. Go ask them to stop. I will stop immediately. Immediately, I will stop beating this child if they stop beating that child. Okay? I'm like, what a hero. Armin, amazing. Don't ask Armin. Ask that other person that started beating those children first. Armin is saying that he's going to stop. Armin is saying he's going to stop. So stop trying to stop Armin. Stop that other person first. This is the logic is this not the logic that is being applied here, Elliot?
Oh, it is. It is. And it's everybody knows that it is completely valid and sound. There are no fallacies involved in this logic. Oh no, wait. There's so there is this thing. It's kind of like it's sometimes called like whataboutism, or like the tu quoque fallacy or something.
Right.
Where basically you say, I know I'm doing a thing that's wrong or bad or evil or whatever, but you're doing it too, so it's okay. Yeah. Also, it's almost like, and this is really crazy, this is just coming to me. It's almost like you doing that, Armin, is not a super effective way to stop the bad thing that you supposedly care about. And if you actually cared about that bad thing, you would do something to actually effectively stop it. So, yeah. Oh, that's good. Right. 2 wrongs make a leftist. That's funny. That's good, Franklin. Points for you.
2 wrongs make a left. That's so good. That was so good. Okay, so Bender gave us a super chat, £5. I kind of agree with this, what Bender is saying. I would just like to improve it a little bit. Okay, So Bender is saying leftists and Islamists are working hand in hand to destroy the West. Elliot, I think Elliot, you might know. What about this do you think I want to change?
I think you would say some for the leftists and Islamists, but I think you would change West to world. that's where I would. Yeah. Some leftists and some Islamists are working hand in hand to destroy the world.
The world.
That's what.
Yes.
That's their
this
goal.
Is yes, their goal.
Yep.
Yes, we're coming for liberal values, which is not just helping the West; it's helping the world. Go on, Anna.
Yeah, I wanted to also state about the free speech that he talked about in the very last minute of his video. I mean, technically, he sees supporting an organization that calls for the unalivement of America and Israel and all the Jews as free speech. Okay, like you can totally support it, but Musk going to visit Auschwitz is like, oh no, you were the knight of the free speech, and like this, you turned against the free speech. No, free speech is also allowing ideas that you don't agree with to come out. And here we saw that this very stupid, she's maybe not stupid, but her stupid takes of this woman were able to get out, without any problem on national TV, and also that YouTube gave the opportunity to this YouTuber to react to this. So this is also free speech, but free speech also means that you would sometimes hear things against your worldview, and sometimes these things would be pro-Israel, pro-Zionist, pro-Jewish. How going to
so guys,
speech.
So guys, I want to just make sure that
did we keep monetization?
But yeah, we did keep monetization, but this is how we're going to end this show. Anna doesn't know that we do this. Okay, so
I got my
Anna, guys, make sure you like the stream. But here Elliot is ready. Okay, so we're going to end this show, but this is how we're going to end it. Okay, let me just show
are now ready to be slung on a plate, fork and knife, bit of chips on the side, chili sauce, and Bismillah. Let's leave it there, guys. Until next time. Assalamu alaikum.
You gotta do the awkward long sniff and everything, Anna. Okay.
Yes,
you gotta do it all.
Did you remember, Elliot, not to clean your nose? Because when you do that, it has to make all that sound like you have something.
Yeah. I put.
You have to hear all that little stuff that you have nose to make that sound too. Okay, so I hope your nose makes.
Can we say Bismi Bliss?
Bismi Bliss.
No. You have to say Assalamu alaikum. Okay, and you have to do. So everyone ready? All right. Okay. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next stream. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.